Indian billionaire Gautam Adani, head of the Adani Group, has been charged in the United States of America in a high-profile bribery case. The allegation stemmed from claims that Adani's group was involved in bribing officials in exchange for lucrative contracts and business deals, and the development is part of a broader investigation into global corporate misconduct, with the Adani Group being accused of exploiting its vast network and financial influence to secure deals unfairly. The charges sparked renewed scrutiny of the Adani Group. The US indictment meant that the Adani Group offered over 2,000 crore rupees in bribes to government officials to secure solar energy supply contracts. But the Adani Group has denied all these allegations, calling them baseless. However, rating agencies have also swung into action. Moody's has cut the outlook on Adani firms to negative from stable. Fitch has also put up some Adani bonds on negative watch. Stocks, however, Adani stocks bouncing back in trade today, up by 20%, erasing all the losses suffered since that news broke out. Gaurang, talk to us, from your perspective, what should one do if one is invested in Adani stocks directly or indirectly through mutual funds?
So first of all, I think this afternoon we had some kind of statement from the senior lawyer Mukul Rohatgi, who is representing Adani Group, saying that there were no bases or there were no evidence given in terms of the accusations that have been levied against the Honorable Chairman, Mr. Gautam Adani. Point number one. Point number two, you asking me whether what should investors do if you're. So this is the second time after Hindenburg report that we've seen this kind of a meltdown in the Adani Group companies. As a brokerage house, we have coverage on ACC and Ambuja as a disclosure. On rest of the group companies, while we don't have a coverage, but I strongly believe that there are some very fundamentally strong names in the Adani Group. This is not a recommendation, Krishna Kumar, mind you. So you have Adani Enterprises, you have Adani Ports, you have Adani Green, you have Adani Total, Adani Energy, to name a few. These companies, when it comes to quarterly earnings numbers, well, there's been no disappointment what we've seen. And I hope it continues that way. As with respect to what is happening in the US, well, it's a matter of what is the news flow that is going to come in. And accordingly, you will see the markets and Adani Group companies stock react to those kind of news flows. Very difficult to assume what kind of news flows will be there. But I think it's very interesting to note that the timing of this particular news unfolding, and why is it that only one particular corporate group is targeted? I mean, is there something material? Then please come out with it. If not, then I think we have to put things to rest.
Right, Kranti, I mean, these two negative reports that have come out from Moody's and Fitch, they definitely would, make financing cost higher for the Adani Group, and of course the borrowing cost will go up. But we got some clarification from the Adani Group. They have about 50,000 crores in cash reserves, which will cover them for about 28 months. So do you think overall this impact of these negative ratings and negative outlook from these two companies will hit the stocks particularly hard?
Shaz, if the rating agency measures are concerned, of course, definitely it's going to have a negative impact in the medium to short term. This happened when the Hindenburg report, when it came on Adani Group. 24 months back also, the same kind of rating downgrade was there for Adani Group was concerned in terms of their bonds are concerned. So it is they have enough liquidity and their EBITDA margins are quite strong at this point of time. So the current measures taken by the rating agency are going to be a negative impact. Probably if they have to raise funds at 7%, probably they need to increase the spreads, they need to increase the yields that are going to be. But it's a medium to short term measure. How the things they are going to evolve over a period of time, we need to wait and watch so closely. And one need to keep in mind, Adani Group shares are care of address for those people for high volatility. At the same point of time, there are many businesses, as Gaurang told, there are some deep values also there in this business. Given the kind of infrastructure business they are quite strong in, definitely the group companies offers a long-term value. But one need to embrace the volatility.
One needs to embrace volatility. Kranti, isn't that the general message for all stock market investors and mutual fund investors, be it the Adani stocks or the markets as a whole? Because, if you think the correction is done, there's a very good chance that the correction is not done. Be it Adani stocks or the markets as the stock markets as a whole. And in that sense, so people, our retail investors, first-time investors watching this broadcast, they should be clear that volatility is the order of the day, at least for the near foreseeable future. So when they enter the stock markets, they should choose to stay invested in the markets for several years, and that's the attitude that they should enter the market with or stay in the market with.
Krishna, definitely in a medium to short-term perspective, one need to expect the volatility. But with respect to Adani Group is concerned, they're high beta in nature. So whenever any investor want to chip into the Adani Group shares, they need to get prepared for the extra volatility that comes in the market. Because given the kind of news flow that do come, it changes the scenarios. So one need to prepare while investing in Adani Group shares, one need to prepare for that extra volatility and the high beta nature of these group companies.
Right, we will leave it at that. Kranti Patini, equity strategist, Wealth Mill Securities. Thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on In Your Interest. And of course, Mr. Gaurang Shah, Senior Vice President of Geojit Financial Services Limited. Thank you so much for being with us, Gaurang. And with that, we're completely out of time over here. Thank you, Sayash, for joining us in the studio. And with that, it's a wrap here from my side. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off.